Hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. So, I've literally just made it in time back from work. Bit of a crazy day. But yeah, we are good. We are now gonna watch a Falcon 9 take some satellites for OneWeb, which is a somewhat direct competitor to Starlink. But hey, they're paying SpaceX to put these up. So yes, we are here, and tonight's rocket launch is actually going to be returning the booster back to LZ-1. So we have a boost back burn and a landing of the booster on the ground, not a drone ship. So yeah, I'm going to now put on their sound. So here we go. They're just talking about their OneWeb satellites.
We're doing this by bringing high-speed broadband internet from space.
I got a hair. My hair is soaking wet.
Previously unimaginable. Every customer connected via the OneWeb network has their own story. All of them are united by one thing: gaining the power of connectivity and the independence or sense of community that can bring.
OneWeb, we are a global connectivity provider.
So today's drink of the night is, let's see if this works, Tyson Fury energy drink. That is today's drink of the night.
30 times closer to the Earth than traditional satellites. We do this because
And the black and blue raspberry is a lot better than the cherry knockout. So this one tastes like bubblegum.
Highly concentrated around densely populated areas. OneWeb really wants to bring connectivity.
Oh, my tooth is killing me. Probably doesn't help I'm drinking energy drinks.
Everywhere, effectively bringing on a level playing field all of these people that have been left behind.
Water is life, but connectivity is everything else, right? It's education, it's healthcare, it's being able to start your own small business. I mean, just look at all the stuff you do on a day-to-day basis in an urban environment, and you know, think if that's cut off for even a few hours, how anxious you get.
Oh God, yeah! If I'm without my phone, bloody hell.
Will never. There's satellite communities. We don't think they'll ever have connectivity going in. They're just too far away to run fiber. They're too far away to get 4G or 5G. The only option for them will be satellite internet.
Satellite internet.
Get my bachelor's degree in administration.
I'm pretty sure they ran this last time.
With the internet,
because I remember
it's
her.
a lot easier. I can see my professors during class. I can collaborate with my classmates.
OneWeb has helped in a lot of ways. It's more convenient for us, like ordering supplies and payments over the phone.
It is great to work with SpaceX. They are a fantastic partner. It's been very nice and exciting to restart working with them and OneWeb.
We're really looking forward to the launch with SpaceX. It's very important for us.
Nah, he's British. That's like the posh British guy. Every company's got to have a posh British guy in there.
With liftoff just under 8 minutes from now, let's get to know a little bit more about the rocket.
Oh, they changed the guy.
Hey everyone, I'm Atticus Federa, and I'm a propulsion engineer here at SpaceX, and I'm excited to join Yome to bring you live coverage for today's launch. On your screen is a live view of our Falcon 9 vehicle. Falcon 9 is a two-stage rocket which stands 230 feet or 70 meters tall, which is roughly 20 meters taller than the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, France, which is about 40 meters tall.
Oh wow. I didn't actually know that.
The Falcon 9 will hold just over 1 million pounds of propellant that the vehicle will mostly burn through in less than 3 minutes after liftoff.
Jeez.
We began loading those propellants on both stages of the vehicle at just about T-minus 35 minutes.
Engine chill has started.
Good call out there for the engine chill on M1D's beginning. Now, starting from the top of our rocket, we have our payload fairing, which safely encloses the 17-foot diameter fairing, which is the structure at the very top of the rocket.
17
this structure
foot.
protects the satellites from
That's
aerodynamic
mad.
heating, loads, and contamination during ascent. And once we reach the vacuum of space, we will actually jettison these fairing halves, while the second stage continues to its final destination in low Earth orbit.
Look at that gorgeous
Just below
weather in
that payload
Florida.
fairing, we have the
Oh.
second stage. That's the stage that will take the 40 OneWeb satellites to a low Earth orbit today. That second stage will ignite its single Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, at about 2.5 minutes into flight, and then it will relight for a second
Stage
time.
1 RP1 load is complete.
Good call out there. We
Nice.
just finished loading RP1 on the first stage. Below that second stage, we have the interstage, which is actually part of the first stage. And as you can see on your screen, the carbon fiber interstage is a distinct black color because it is unpainted TPS, or thermal protection system. Now, this protects the composite material that the interstage is made out of. At the very bottom of the first stage, there are 9 Merlin 1D engines that will get Falcon 9 off the ground and up into the thinner parts of the Earth's atmosphere. And shortly after liftoff, the first and second stages will physically separate from one another, and then the second stage will continue to orbit, while the first stage will start making its way back down to Earth.
It'll do a
The
boost
first
back
stage
burn.
is designed to be reflown multiple times with minimal refurbishment between flights. And today's first stage will actually be flying for the 13th time, and will be
Cool.
attempting to land at landing zone 1, which is not too far from the launch pad.
Yeah,
On
the
your
launch
screen right
pad
now
is
the live view
basically
of
just
that landing zone.
up there.
And if we are successful in recovering the booster today, it will mark the 177th successful recovery
Wow.
of an orbital class rocket.
177. That is mental.
And lastly, that
Falcon 9
large
tanks are pressurizing for strong back retract.
That large truss structure you see there is the transporter erector, or TE. We use it to roll the rocket out to the pad and raise it to its vertical launch position. Now, the TE also routes the vehicle's fluids, power, and telemetry umbilicals from the ground systems to the rocket and the satellites, and this is until Falcon 9 goes on internal power and clears the pad. At liftoff,
Strong back retract has started.
good call out there, we are beginning to retract that strong back,
So you'll see the little
and we do
pincers
move it away to clear the way for
move
Falcon 9's
move out
descent.
like that. So it'll be these bits here. There you go. They start moving away.
And while we're waiting for TE retraction, we'll see the clamp arms just below the fairing halves. You can see them starting to open right now. And following the clamp arms opening, the TE will begin to pull away from the rocket slightly. And then at T0, the ground hydraulic systems will pull the TE even further away from Falcon 9 as it lifts off. You can see those clamp arms opening there just below the fairing.
Nice.
Now the first stage is connected to a launch mount at the base of the transporter erector, but the structure is hinged, so it will retract away from the vehicle in preparation for launch. You heard that call out earlier for the strong back retraction sequence beginning, but here in just a few seconds you should see that strong back begin to actually recline away from Falcon 9.
Look at that. So all the flames and the all the steam comes out of this little chute here. So
We
it
are
goes
waiting for
down,
TE retraction,
in and out,
it's
and it
a
just
beautiful
shoots
day
out.
in Cape
It's
Canaveral
so cool.
today.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Sweet. Right, I'm gonna chuck in the
Now, at this
chat.
point in the countdown, you just heard
And stage 1 POCO.
you heard the call out that stage 1 LOX load is complete, and stage 2 LOX loading should finish up just about a minute later at T-2 minutes.
There you go. I've chucked in
At
the
which
chat.
point both the
Will
first
it
and
go
second
boom?
stages will be fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of kerosene and liquid oxygen. Now those white clouds that you see forming around the Falcon are expected. We do begin to vent the chilled gas above the LOX tank liquid surface
Right.
to maintain the pressure
What's
that we
OneWeb?
need.
OneWeb is
see
basically
around
like
the stage that
SpaceX's
as we load
Starlink.
that
It's
super
basically an
chilled liquid
internet
oxygen, it is
satellite.
causing condensation and clouds to form.
So
in
yeah,
the
they're
super
basically a
chilled
direct competitor to SpaceX's Starlink. But basically, they were due to fly on the Russian
second stage LOX loading
Soyuz.
completing here
But obviously,
shortly.
that has now gone
And
wrong.
at T-minus 60
So
seconds,
their only choice is basically to pay
there is that
SpaceX
call out
to
for
put up
stage
their
2 LOX
satellites.
loading complete. And at T
They,
minus 60 seconds,
I would say
Falcon 9
they're
will
not
be
a
in
direct
startup.
competitor because
This
they're
means
kind
the
of
rocket's
going
autonomous
more
individual
like
computers will take over the
businesses and
launch
stuff like
countdown,
that, like
and just inside of T-minus 2
people that are
seconds,
doing
we'll light the
science in
Merlin
remote
engine
areas,
What's that?
where SpaceX kind of like the average consumer sort
The
of thing.
OneWeb Launch 17 payload continues to be healthy, and the
This is
Falcon
going to be
9
pretty
team
cool
is
to see the
tracking
boost
no
back
issues
burn.
on the rocket. Weather is looking
It's
green,
beautiful
and
weather
stage is
there.
ready to support today's launch.
Oh,
We do have a backup opportunity tomorrow,
no,
March 10th at
do
2:08
not go
p.m.,
tomorrow because I'm
but we are
staying at
proceeding
work
into the
late.
final minute of terminal count.
Right, here we go. 1 minute, I'm going to
Falcon
shut
9
up
is
now.
in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Right. There you go.
LV, go for launch.
Yes,
We have
we
the
are
final
go for launch.
All systems are go for launch on Falcon 9 with the OneWeb Launch 17 mission payload.
Oh,
T minus 30 seconds.
here we go, guys. Right, I'm going to end the poll.
T minus 15. 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
1. Just full power. And liftoff. OneWeb 3.
Wowzers, that's quite loud.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
Yeah.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Yeah, boom. The engines definitely go boom. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a booster blow up, or at least like them not land the booster. I think, you know, they've landed quite a few now. I think they can afford to lose a booster. I think for us as well, it'd be quite fun. So as long as the payload gets into space. And my phone's going crazy with Twitter telling me
Falcon 9 has
they've
successfully
lifted
lifted
off.
off from Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral, carrying the OneWeb Launch 17 payload. Now we're
Oh,
still going
man.
up, but we're also heading
Very out of
horizontally away
focus.
from
Come
the
on,
launch
camera.
pad. And coming up in just a few seconds here, we will be approaching the point of max Q. There we go, call out for that there.
Come on, focus. No.
At the point of max Q, we throttled
Someone's
the
obviously
Merlin
forgot
1D
to
engines
focus
down
the
briefly
camera
to
tonight.
reduce the loads on the vehicle. We've now throttled the engines back up to full power, and this will help us continue to accelerate towards low Earth orbit. The rocket typically needs to go about 17,500 miles per hour.
MVAC engine chill has started.
Good call out there for MVAC engine chill. We need to go about 17,500 miles per hour horizontally
Yeah,
in order
definitely.
to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and actually get into orbit. So keep
God,
an eye on
look
our
at
station
that.
telemetry
Look at the
bottom of
exhaust
your screen.
plume. That is so
Now coming up,
cool.
we're going to have 5 events in very quick
There we
succession.
go.
Those are main engine cutoff, or MECO, stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, boost back burn, and
Stage
then from
1
there, the
flip.
fairing
It
halves
is not
will
called
separate.
stage 1 flip. It's called stage
So keep
1
an eye out for
boost
those
back
events.
burn.
Again, starting with main engine cutoff. Coming up on that point in just about 15 seconds here, so let's listen in for that.
See, it's so quick from like liftoff. It's really quick. Miss Max Q. Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a shame, really. I mean, the weather's gorgeous out there, so I don't know
Main engine cutoff.
why they missed some of that.
Stage separation confirmed.
Oh, look at that.
MVAC ignition. Stage 1.
Oh, look at it. It's so cool how it just turns.
And there you go. You just heard and saw main engine cutoff.
Oh, there's a
stage
bit of a
separation,
delay there.
Stage 1 flip and second engine start 1. Now we are in the middle of the boost back burn, which you can see on the left side of your screen there.
Yep.
That first stage has flipped around and is burning 3 of its Merlin 1D engines to head back towards the launch site, while the MVAC on the right is pushing the second stage into low Earth
Yeah,
orbit.
basically cancelling
Now,
out.
today's mission is
It's
what we call a RTLS, or return to launch site. And that's actually where we return the first stage back to a landing pad
So,
that is actually very close to where we took
if
off
I'm
from.
right, you might see this.
Now this burn should
go
last
the
about 50
opposite
seconds,
way.
So we have about 10 seconds left in the boost back burn.
There you go. So it kind of gets to a
stages
certain
continue to go
speed,
down
and then it.
Stage 1 boost pack shut down.
And there we go. Just had confirmation of
I'm
successful
actually
boost back
confused
burn
with that.
shutdown. Coming up next in just a few
'Cause
seconds, we will
surely-
separate those fairing halves and should get a good view of our payload.
Bearing separation confirmed.
I'm really confused. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Just had successful confirmation of boost back burn end and the successful separation of both the fairing halves from the second stage. Now, both of these halves on today's
Okay,
mission
I
are
don't
flying
know.
for the 6th time, and we will be attempting to retrieve them again today once they fall back
Satellite
to Earth
altitude must
using
be
our
less.
recovery vessel, Bob.
Second booster burn. So I think
We're just about at T plus.
it's a
little
sligely
over 4
different
minutes into
orbit to
today's
like
mission, and
what
we are
they
in
do
the
for the
first
Starlink.
of
I think
2
it's
planned MVAC
a
burns
lot
before
further
satellite
up than
deployment.
Starlink.
Now, at
That's
T
why they've
plus
kind
6
of more
minutes and
gone
10 seconds, so a couple
up,
minutes from now, you
and
should
then the
see
second
on
stage
your
will really
screen
push
the
it
first stage's
Both vehicles are
entry.
following nominal trajectories.
up because
That both vehicles are on
I'm
nominal
guessing they don't.
trajectories.
The reason why they bring it back
Great
is because
views
they're
from
not
the first
using
and second
as
stages
much
there.
fuel in the first stage.
Now, for the entry burn of the first stage, we do relight 3 of the M1D engines on the
3
first
of the
stage, starting
M1D
with the
engines?
center E9 engine, followed shortly by the E1 and E5 engines, which are
So,
all in a row.
I love
And
when
this
you see
slows
the
the
ice
vehicle
come
down
off.
as it passes
The
through
ice
the
comes
Earth's
off like the
atmosphere.
tanks, and it just gets like flung out by the exhaust.
Now we do the entry burn
So
in
cool.
order to slow down to reduce re-entry forces, which helps us.
Oh,
to
look at that
recover
lovely
and reuse
Florida
our
weather.
first
Just
stage.
absolutely gorgeous. Here in the UK, it's pissing down with rain. Usually go around.
During that
Yeah,
entry
that's
burn,
right, yeah.
Falcon 9 is decelerating, firing those 3 Merlin engines, but we're still
Crazy.
moving really rapidly, so the vehicle will actually fly through its own plume and deposit some of that carbon-based fuel soot that Falcon 9 uses onto the booster.
Yeah, because that's only holding at about
And great views of
197
those grid fins on the
kilometers
first
high.
stage.
So it really isn't that high.
And the Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission will perform this entry burn for the 13th time.
Here we
having
go. We've got the
previously
booster coming
supported
in.
Multiple missions, including GPS vehicles 4 and 5, Inspiration 4.
It is picking up
Axiom
speed
1,
pretty quick, that
Alsat
second
301,
stage.
and 7 separate Starlink missions.
That second stage is probably
Entry burn starting very shortly.
properly coming down.
Stage 1 entry burn. Startup.
There we go.
There is the start of the entry
Oh.
burn.
There you go. I was going to say a bit on the delay there. It's so cool we've got this sort of technology now. It is mental.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
Good entry burn from the first stage.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
There you go.
Flight termination system is safe.
And now it's going to glide it.
One.
Like, the booster's actually
Computers
coming down
have
like this
control
now.
thrusters on the first
Using
stage
the grid
firing
fins to
there.
kind of
Both vehicles
almost
continue
like
to follow nominal trajectories.
glide it
Those
into
first
position.
And second stages are looking good. And our next milestone is the stage 1 landing burn, which is coming all the way back to landing zone 1 in Cape Canaveral, starting in about 15 seconds.
So literally, I think
Stage 1
the
transonic.
it's somewhere down here, if I remember rightly. Usually, like the landing spot is
Stage
just
2 FTS
under
is saved.
the left. So there's the second landing pad.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Here we
Start
go.
our stage 1 landing burn.
Oh, nice! Look at that. Oh, it's getting a bit wobbly. There you go. So
Great
it's going to
drone
land
footage
on the
of
big
first
one.
stage that you
I
can
think.
see on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, it's going for the big one. Usually, it's always on the left-hand side of the booster. Look at that. That is mad. A 14-story
Incredible views from first
rocket.
stage coming
Just
down on
Stage
landing
1
zone
landing
one.
leg deployed.
that is gorgeous footage. Absolute gorgeous footage.
That was a beautiful
Stage 1
landing,
landing confirmed.
beautiful landing of the first stage, and there you have it.
That was really
landing
cool.
marks
Stage 2
space-
is in terminal guidance.
that
That
landing marks
tracking
space
shot
six
on the
is
right-hand- on
177th
that side of the
recovery
screen
of an orbital
was
class rocket,
amazing.
including the first stage landings of Falcon 9 and Heavy. And now back to stage 2. Stage 2 is looking good with just about 10 seconds left before second engine cut off 1.
Right, so now it's gone down in altitude because it's picked up its perigee. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's definitely around like the 190 to... Oh, there you go.
Heard that call out for MVAC shutdown.
So it looks like it's going to do a few laps around the Earth before
Just waiting
payload
on
deployment.
confirmation of a good orbit.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really kind.
You just heard that good call out for
I
nominal
try and do my
orbital
best.
insertion.
I literally
Mission
ran
isn't
home
over
from
yet.
work
The
today in
second
the
stage is now
pouring rain
embarking on
to
its
try and make
first
this on
coast
time.
phase. Now, after this
So,
coast
oh.
phase, we will relight that MVAC engine for a second time around the T plus 55 minute mark. So we'll see you back here in
Okay.
about 45 minutes.
Well, so they are going to go for a 45-minute break. I am actually going to end my stream because I now need to go and get some dinner. Because literally I ran in from work and yeah, didn't even get anything to eat. So thank you very much, guys, for watching today. Been quite fun. It's so cool seeing them booster landings. Like, they are crazy. Like the drone ship, it looks cool, but I don't know what it is about actually landing on the ground. It just makes it so much cooler. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm Lee. Fly safe, land safer.